In the heart of America, a promise was made. Donald Trump, a beacon of strength and determination, vowed to dismantle the insidious network of Mexican drug cartels that have plagued our nation for far too long. This pledge was not made in a vacuum, but in direct response to a chilling threat. El Chapo, the notorious drug lord, had the audacity to threaten Trump, a stark reminder of the danger our nation faces. This was a defining moment, a line drawn in the sand. Trump's promise resonated with millions of Americans, particularly those of us who believe in the rule of law, the sanctity of our borders, and the safety of our communities. We have witnessed firsthand the devastation wrought by these cartels, the addiction, the violence, the erosion of our national security. The threat from El Chapo was not an empty one. It was a sinister glimpse into the ruthlessness of these criminal organizations, their willingness to intimidate and silence anyone who dared to stand in their way. But Trump refused to be cowed. He recognized the gravity of the situation and the need for decisive action. This is not just about drugs, it is about the very soul of America. It's about reclaiming our borders, restoring law and order, and sending a clear message to the world. America will not be bullied, and we will not tolerate threats to our safety and security. Trump's 2025 plan is not for the faint of heart. It is a comprehensive and aggressive strategy designed to crush the cartels once and for all. This is not about nibbling around the edges, it is about striking at the very heart of the beast. Military intervention is on the table. Trump understands that we are in a war against these criminal enterprises, and we must be prepared to use every tool at our disposal to defeat them. Naval blockades will cut off their supply routes, squeezing them financially and logistically. Special forces, the tip of the spear, will be deployed strategically to dismantle their operations and bring their leaders to justice. But Trump's plan goes beyond brute force. He recognizes that we must also fight this war on the digital front. Cyber warfare units will target their financial networks, disrupt their communications, and expose their illicit activities. Furthermore, Trump is taking the unprecedented step of classifying these cartels as terrorist organizations, a designation they richly deserve. This will unleash the full force of our intelligence and law enforcement agencies, allowing us to target their assets, track their movements, and bring them to justice. And to those who say this plan is too extreme, I ask, what is the price of inaction? How many more lives must be lost? How many communities torn apart before we say enough is enough? Trump's bold vision has, predictably, drawn criticism from the usual suspects. The liberal media, ever eager to undermine any effort to strengthen our nation, has painted his plan as reckless and dangerous. They wring their hands and warn of unintended consequences, but their concern rings hollow. Where was their outrage when these cartels were flooding our streets with drugs and violence? Where was their compassion for the countless American families torn apart by addiction and death? But Trump is not deterred by the naysayers. He is a leader who understands the gravity of the threat we face and the need for decisive action. And he is not alone. The Republican Party stands firmly behind him, united in our commitment to protecting America from this scourge. We control the presidency, the Senate, and the House. We have the mandate, the will, and the resources to finally put an end to this nightmare. We have appointed strong, principled individuals to key positions, men and women who understand the threat and will not hesitate to confront it head-on. Tom Homan, a man who knows the border like the back of his hand, is our border czar. Stephen Miller, a staunch advocate for American sovereignty, serves as Deputy Chief of Staff. And Kristi Noem, a proven leader with a track record of success, is our nominee for the Department of Homeland Security. With this team in place, we are confident that we can achieve our goal of dismantling the cartels and restoring safety and security to our nation. Some so-called experts, academics cloistered in their ivory towers, warn of potential consequences. They say that military intervention could lead to more violence, that killing cartel leaders will only create a power vacuum. But these are the same voices that have been wrong on every issue related to immigration and border security. They offer no solutions, only endless hand-wringing and appeasement. We cannot afford to listen to these voices of timidity and defeatism. The threat is real, and it is growing. The recent arrest of Ismael El Mayo Zambada, a key figure in the Sinaloa cartel, has sparked a wave of violence. His sons, known as Los Chapitos, are vying for control, and the streets of Mexico are running red with blood. This is not someone else's problem, this is our problem. These cartels are operating just miles from our border, trafficking drugs, weapons, and human beings into our country. They are corrupting our institutions, undermining our economy, and poisoning our communities. We are at a crossroads. We can choose the path of inaction, the path of appeasement, the path of surrender, or we can choose the path of strength, the path of resolve, the path of victory. Donald Trump has chosen the latter, and we, the American people, must stand with him. The time for action is now. The future of our nation hangs in the balance.